Good morning. It's a little drizzly today, but we can handle it because sun is a-coming, right? We're excited about that. I'm always excited about the weather. I check my weather app probably too many times a day. Somebody said to me once, I heard this thing that you should figure out the app on your phone that you check the most and delete it for a week and see what you do and how you handle it. And think about that for your own app. Mine is the weather app. I check the weather more than I would like to say, and but I can tell you that sun is coming because I checked it probably 3 times this morning already. I want to welcome you to Homecoming Week. And that's right, it's Homecoming Week. And this is a week where we will have our alumni come back and be a part of our community and remember some of the experiences that they've had on campus. It's an exciting time for us. I love it because we have alumni that come back from the class of 1942. I mean, think about that. It's not the whole 153 years we've been in existence, but it's pretty close. And it's wonderful to hear alums, whether they've been gone a year or been gone since the 40s, to come back and talk about living in different parts of this campus, attending class, and looking to you to see if the mission of Roberts Wesleyan College is still being lived out in the student body today. They're excited to come to hear what classes are like, to see athletic events, to hear music performances, and it's going to be a wonderful weekend. And I encourage you to be a part of it and to make sure that you're out and about on Friday and Saturday to meet some of the alums that are walking down campus. If you like a good bounce house, we even have that. I know. I mean, come on. So, if I haven't encouraged you enough, think about the bounce house, and maybe that'll get you there. But each year, we take time to honor alumni that are making a difference. And this is an important chapel because it gives you the opportunity as students to understand not just where you may be going in the future, but to understand how God has used our alumni to make a difference in this world and to celebrate that. And so today, we're going to recognize some of our alumni. And I want to tell you a little bit about them. The first Young Alum of the Year award was given in 1997, and it goes to a recent graduate of distinction. Recipients have excelled immediately upon leaving college, accomplishing much in a relatively short period of time. This year, we will be honoring a married couple as the 2018 Young Alumni of the Year. Bradley Farrow, class of 2006, and his wife Heather Goodrich Farrow, class of 2008. And in a few minutes, Dr. Irv Starr, director of our undergraduate business program and professor of management, will come to introduce Brad and Heather, who unfortunately are not able to be here, but we did some fun work and have some videos to watch where you can hear what they have to say about their experience and how the experience at Roberts has propelled them into where they are today. The other awards given today are Alumnus and Alumna of the Year awards. These recognitions date back to the 50s, and past recipients include individuals who have been central to the success and development of Roberts Wesleyan College. The Alumna of the Year this year is Judy Fleming Rich, class of 1974, and she will be introduced by Pastor Wally Fleming, who is here today to receive her award. The Alumnus of the Year is Paul Lysander, class of 1985, a physics and engineering major, and we will be hearing from Paul via video this morning as well, and I will do an introduction. Our award honorees represent the best of Roberts education and experience and the thousands, over 18,000 Roberts Wesleyan College alumni who are making a difference in this world, providing leadership to our world and culture. They are doing what we talk about and that we share as our goal, connecting their head to their heart and engaging their hands in service through industry and in the community. They represent what it means to be a Roberts alum. So I want to start by congratulating our winners today as we get ready to introduce them to you, and you get to hear some of their stories. And before we get started, I'd like to ask Anthony to go ahead and lead us in an opening hymn, Great is Thy Faithfulness. So if you would stand and join him.
Let's sing this together. Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. And great is thy faithfulness, and great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see, and all I have needed, thy hand hath provided. And great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. And great is thy faithfulness, and great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. And great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon for sin, and pardon for sin, and a peace that endureth, and thine own dear presence to cheer and to guide, strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow, and blessings all mine with 10,000 beside. And great is thy faithfulness, and great is thy faithfulness. And morning by morning, new mercies I see. And all I have needed, thy hand hath provided. And great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Amen. Amen. You may be seated.
Good morning, and I need to start by apologizing to my students who are in the room. You will no longer be able to reach me by email because I've deleted my Gmail app. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Irv Starr. I'm the director of the undergraduate business program. And it really is my privilege to recognize the young alum of the year, the couple, Brad and Heather Farrow. When I think of Brad and Heather, the very first thing that came to mind as I thought back of their time here at Roberts was secret wedding. We had the opportunity to conduct their private wedding in our home. My wife led the service, just 4 of us there. There are some challenges when you're engaged and you are from different countries. And so we were excited to do that with them. They've been married now 12 years. And I am mindful that they are one of 3 presidential couples that have come from Enactus, both serving as presidents at different times. So what I remember about them individually, though, is a little different. I remember Heather was the first junior to ever be asked to serve as an Enactus president. And she was on the presentation team the first time we ever made the Final Four stage. And if you can picture that, there are tens of thousands in the audience. When they were one of the 4 best teams out of over 550 teams at that time in the country. By the way, her husband, Brad, was the president of the team that same year. I also remember traveling to Europe with her, and her and I butting heads on where we would go next when we were in London. And when I thought we had solved that, then we butted heads on where we would go next in Paris, and then each subsequent city and country thereafter. When I think of Brad, I remember that he was the one who formed the mission statement that Enactus still uses today. Consumed by Christ, Roberts Enactus implements creative initiatives, inspires lasting change, and infuses hope and excellence in all those we touch. I also remember that he really loved the band U2, was a drummer, and had a dream of playing drums on tour, and actually got the opportunity to do that immediately upon graduation. Less than 2 months into that, I remember him writing to me and saying, "This is not the life for me," and he left that band. Since graduating from Roberts, they've had impressive careers, dedicated service to their church and to their communities. What I would say as I read these off, and I'm going to compare the 2 of them side by side, is they don't just have great careers, though, they have great lives. And I am privileged to call them not just alum, but friends. So Heather graduated in 2008 with a degree in accounting and information management. Brad in 2006 with a degree in business administration. Heather went on to get her CPA certification in 2011, and then an MBA from Columbia in New York City in 2015. Brad earned his MBA a couple of years before that, in 2013, from Villanova in the Philly area. Heather started her career at Vanguard, my favorite mutual fund company, in the Philly area. Brad, as he was waiting for Heather to graduate, he started his career here in Fairport, in the Rochester area, at First America Equipment and Finance, a really fine company that is very selective in who they hire. For the past 3 years, Heather has worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers and currently is serving as a financial services advisory manager. She'd have to explain to me exactly what that is. First in New York City, and then most recently, they've made a move back to Toronto. For 7 years, after moving to Philly, Brad worked for Campbell Soup. He was in their finance arena. He would make presentations to their corporate board. He accepted a role and moved with his wife when she had a career opportunity in New York City. He moved and began working in finance with a company called Coty. And I don't expect anybody to know that company, but they're a privately held firm. And to give you a sense for how big and prestigious they are, they bought Procter & Gamble's fragrance line. And so he worked with them while he was in New York City. And now as they've moved to Toronto, he's begun work with a company called Green Space Brands, which does natural and organic foods. Heather's been recognized as a woman in leadership. She serves as a treasurer and a board member for Helping Hands Rescue Mission, which works with the homeless in the Philly area. She's continued to provide service and support to the Roberts Enactus team and to the U.S. Roberts Enactus USA nationally. Brad serves as treasurer and board member for 2535, an organization that he's actually asked me to visit with him sometime in the Dominican Republic, and they work with spiritual and physical needs of the people that they serve in the Dominican Republic. He continues to actively serve in his church in both youth and in worship. They together have a 2-year-old daughter, and so when you see the video, keep an eye out for her. And I would just reiterate, they don't just have great career tracks, they really have great lives, and I'm really proud to recognize them. Thank you.
I'm sorry we couldn't be there in person today to speak to you, but we are looking forward to coming to Homecoming to hopefully meet some of you in person. First, I wanted to thank President Porterfield and the faculty and staff as part of the business program for this award. We're very excited to receive it.
So what I remember most about my experience at Roberts is the relationships I built when I was on campus. And so there were relationships in two ways, and in two very impactful and different ways. And one was my personal friendships that I built living in a small dorm room in Minor Hall with 4 bunks and 4 of us living together in one room. You get to know each other really fast and you get deep really quickly. And so those even first few weeks of school just really helped me to build a home almost on campus. I encourage you guys to, especially those of you who are freshmen and just started, really dig into your relationships early on, and because you have the next 4 years here, and it's going to really impact how you live out your college life.
So during my time at Roberts, I was very involved with the Enactus program, as Irv mentioned, and I really got a chance to get to know some of the faculty and staff as part of the business program at a deeper level. And over my career, I've realized that that foundation of building relationships has really made a difference. I would say one thing that I just wanted to share is related to surrounding yourself with people that encourage you in seeing your opportunities.
The next piece was my relationships with my professors. Irv, as you just heard, and his wife Carrie, and Ron Necochet, who just retired, and a few other professors. And the business program really helped me in understanding what I wanted out of my career, what I wanted out of life. And this is a really huge opportunity while you're here to figure that out. Also, my experience with Enactus was really instrumental in building my character, building my leadership skills, building relationships as well. It was just awesome to do totally different projects all the time and build different skills and have a lot of fun doing it. My journey with Enactus was a lot of fun and really helped in getting a job and in getting connected in a community as well. And so as I learned a lot in that role, I now volunteer with a nonprofit in the Dominican Republic, and I'm the treasurer on the board, and I get to go down there and really watch how in a rural community in the Dominican Republic, how a lot of these concepts can be reapplied, not only in our hometowns and home cities, but abroad, where you can really make a difference in people's lives.
So I was asked by a friend if I would be willing to join a nonprofit to be their treasurer. And I was very intimidated by that word and thought, even though I had an accounting degree, was I capable? I didn't know nonprofits well. And at the time, they were just looking for someone to kind of record their expenses and stuff. So I was able to get involved, to get to meet and learn about a whole other organization and really make an impact more than I even expected by taking some of the principles I learned from Roberts with my role in Enactus to use the same accounting system that I had used there and to really give back to the community. We've lived in a couple of different cities. We started off in Rochester and then moved to Philadelphia, New York, and now Toronto. Each of those moves, we've kind of given and took a little bit depending on whose opportunity it was for work. But this opportunity, moving to Toronto, was actually for Brad's job.
Each move that we've had, God has really clearly laid the ground out for us. And so being mindful of that and communicating really well together, we've been able to have some success in some very cool cities.
After you leave Roberts, it's not the end. You can still stay engaged and give back in a way that support the students in the mission of the college.
So Heather and I would like to thank everyone today for giving us this award. We're very grateful and excited to be award winners this year and excited to celebrate this weekend at homecoming and see a lot of you that we haven't seen in a long time.
Good morning. If you don't know me, I'm Wally Fleming, and I have an incredibly great privilege this morning because standing next to me is someone whom I dearly love, my much older sister, Judy.
Here he goes.
Who has enjoyed a varied career in the healthcare industry since she received her undergraduate degree from Roberts in 1927.
That's two.
And her graduate degree from the University of Pennsylvania. Judy has moved from being a staff nurse to being a CEO of a hospital. You can trace her career from Thomas Jefferson Hospital in Philadelphia to St. Mary's Hospital in Palm Beach, Florida, to the Wellmont Health System in Kingsport, Tennessee, and finally to the Tucson Medical Center in Arizona. In 2007, Judy was appointed the CEO and president of Tucson Medical Center, a 607-bed nonprofit hospital with more than 4,000 employees. She led the medical center through a period of financial turnaround, enabling it to continue its legacy of leadership in the Arizona hospital and healthcare system. She has been a consistent voice in advocating for increased access to quality health care. And as I get older and more infirm, I'm grateful for her advocating. She serves on numerous boards, and I would not list them all. One of them is the American Hospital and Healthcare Association. I am proud of my sister. I'm proud of her because I know she has led over the years with a desire at every opportunity to glorify Jesus Christ. There was once a time when as children, we jostled each other, vying for space in the back seat of our family station wagon on trips to our grandmother's house.
Do they still make station wagons?
They do.
Good.
And I want you to know that I step back respectfully and give my dear sister all the room she needs because I could not be happier for her. Judy Rich.
Thank you, my beloved little brother. Thank you, President Porterfield, for this honor. And thank you to all of you for showing up today, because I know you get one credit for being here, which is a little different than when I was here, because we had assigned seats and they took attendance. Did you hear about how it used to be? If your seat was empty, bad. Yeah. So life has gotten much better for all of you. I'm thrilled to be here today and to have the opportunity to just very briefly tell you that this is exciting for me. And as I was on the plane yesterday flying here, I was wondering what it feels like to be you and to come to chapel and know you have to listen to an old person talk about being where you are. And I remember that when I sat in chapel and old people got up and got awards, I thought, how long are they going to talk, and what does this have to do with my life? So I'm going to just take 3 minutes to tell you what I think this has to do with your life. I had a wonderful 4 years here. I had too many hours on a bus into Rochester for my clinicals because I was a nursing student. Let's see who you are. Go nurses. Woo! I had too many late hours in the lab, and I remember thinking how good it was for me to have friends who were not nursing majors. It helped me balance. I went to recitals and sat in the practice rooms with them, and that helped me keep my sense of sanity. But I think the thing I want to tell you most of all is that Roberts is not about what they teach you here, although that matters. Roberts is about who you become when you're here. And when I look at the turns of my life, the plans that I had, and you think about the plans that you have for your life, one thing you can be sure of is it won't go the way you planned. And so my experience here, my relationship with God here, my faith that grew here, equipped me to manage the detours and the times when life didn't go the way I planned. It gave me the grounding and the integrity to make the decisions in my life that I knew God would want me to make, and the decisions that ultimately have led to where I am today. I am thrilled to run a large nonprofit community hospital. I am thrilled every day to know that everything we do there really matters to 100,000 people who come to our ED in a year, 35,000 people who are admitted, and numerous other people who come to us for care. And I am fortunate enough to work in a field that knows every day that what I do really matters to our community and to our humanity. So enjoy these years. People tell you that all the time. They will go very fast. I have lots of stories, if anybody wants to hear them, about the stupid things I did, the late night things we did, but I did not do the bad things. I want to go on record. I did not do the bad things. I did the fun bad things. The things that were in the handbook that you were allowed to do, but that were, did you have to do that at 2 o'clock in the morning? So I was in minor, I was listening to the other folks. I was in minor when it was all girls. And I guess they turned it over to the boys. Is that where it is now? Have they ruined it? Because they ruined Carpenter when I was here. But anyway, I digress. I'm glad that you're here. God has brought you here. And God will continue to stay with you when you leave these hallowed halls. And you have the opportunity to give back for the rest of your life as I have had. So thank you to my little brother for hosting me during my trip here. Thank you to all of you for continuing to live the integrity, the compassion, the dedication that this this college stands for. Because we need Roberts Wesleyan College to be here for many, many years to come. So thank you all, and it's an honor to be here.
You know, Pastor Wally is always giving so many jokes. It's such a wonderful moment to see how much he loves his sister, right? It's kind of a cool moment. Thank you, Judy. Thank you for being here and letting us recognize you. Our third award this morning for Alumnus of the Year is Mr. Paul Lysander. Paul was born in India. He and his family immigrated to Canada, when Paul was 7 years old. He is a graduate of Roberts from 1985 with a Bachelor of Science in Physics, also earning his Bachelor of Science from Clarkson University in Electrical and Computing Engineering. He earned a Master of Engineering degree from the University of Toronto, and he has held engineering positions at Bell Canada, IBM in Singapore, and Cisco Systems, where he is currently the technical marketing engineer. In his service at Cisco, he travels extensively both in the United States and internationally. His international experiences include missionary service under the Free Methodist World Missions visa program to India. We have been blessed to have Paul serve on our board of trustees in the past, and I am so glad to announce that he has been re-elected for another term on the board starting this fall. Although Paul is unable to be with us in person today, we recently sent our tech team to Toronto again, where he was happy to share on camera about his time as a student at Roberts and how it made an impact on his life. Please listen to Paul as he talks about his Roberts experience.
My name is Paul Lysander. I am a graduate of the class of '85. I was in the 3-2 engineering co-op program. It has been an amazing journey, both through Roberts and after Roberts. And to me, the big thing, really the perspective that I would like to leave is that Roberts was an instrument in my life that God used to minister to me. Currently, I am an employee of a tech company in San Jose, California called Cisco Systems. I'm a technical evangelist. I work in product management. So my role really is multifaceted. I do many different things, both on the technology side as well as the communication side, dealing with customers and partners, engineering, all the different aspects of a liberal arts education. So Roberts as a community, it was amazing to me. The faculty and staff and how much they took an interest in me as a student and in me as a person. I think of faculty like Mrs. Rhodes, Dr. Ogden, Dr. Chamberlain, and I think of also the librarians, the administrative staff, just how much that they took a personal interest in not just me, but I could see it in how they interacted with other students as well. In terms of just the Christian perspective and framework of Roberts, one could attend any liberal arts college, but there's something about the Christian worldview, not just in terms of what's taught in the classroom, but the entire campus experience that really frames things that is just so incredibly valuable. Here, West Chapel, where we are right now, it has been also an experience for me serving here during my time as a congregation member and as a board member and, teaching Sunday school and so on. It has all really been an outflow of my experience at Roberts and also at Pierce. As a student attending Pierce Memorial Church, that was also a big part of my campus experience. So again, all of these things holistically added to my life during my time at Roberts and obviously post-Roberts as well. So it really has been amazing to me just reflecting back. This isn't so much about me as it is how God has used Roberts as an instrument in my life all the way through my time on campus, through the time after leaving Roberts, going on to graduate school, and then into the workforce. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to really reflect, and I hope that it would be meaningful to you as a Roberts community, whether you're a student or faculty member or in administration, just so that you understand how much Roberts has impacted my life.
We've heard about 4 outstanding alums who have represented Roberts Wesleyan College as they've gone on beyond today. And before long, you're going to be part of that family, part of our 18,000 living alums around the world who represent what it means to bring Christ into community and into the workplace. And as you heard from each of these individuals, that is what they do every day. The Roberts experience impacted them, not just professionally, but spiritually and personally as well. There's a lot of traditions that happen at Roberts, and many traditions that happened before we arrived, you and I both. One of those traditions was that students, as freshmen, were given a beanie. And this is like into the 80s, by the way. So it's not like back into the 60s. These little beanies that people received. And one of the traditions was that an upperclassman could stop you at any moment and ask you to sing the alma mater. And you had to sing it. It was a little, we don't do that anymore, right? Because that's That's kind of hazy-y, but which we don't do here. Part of that tradition is the alma mater. This weekend, when we have the campus full of alums, we will have some events on campus. One of them will happen on Friday night in this room. It's a concert, and it's called Night at the Movies. And we will take a moment at intermission and come back and sing the alma mater. And I'll tell you, it brings tears to my eyes because standing in that room are men and women who, when they sing that, takes them back to their experience as a student. It's one of the traditions that we have restarted since I arrived because I believe that traditions help us remember why and what it is that we do. And so, even though I know I get a little chuckle out of this every time we do it, we only do it 3 times a year. We're going to stand, and Dr. Jeffrey McGee is going to come, and we're going to sing the alma mater together. So stand. It's on your program, and it will also be showing up here behind us. And let's sing it with some gusto. Okay?
Okay, with gusto. Did you hear that?
Thank you for singing with gusto. Have a great day.